Christchurch next year. That's our primary goal. We are still looking at options now that we have this news, and we've been working hard with the council behind the scenes to try and understand exactly where things are at. And now the options that we are exploring and the way in which we are trying to ensure that the Crusaders play in their hometown next year crystallise because of the news today about this stadium.
You've been planning for some time that there'll be no AMI stadium for 2012?
We've not known that until today, so we knew for certain today, but we have certainly started some contingency planning over the last number of weeks on the basis that it might be the answer to that.
Options include what, Hamish?
Christchurch doesn't have another ready-made stadium that we can't just pick up and replace this somewhere else at the moment. So options include the ones that have been in the media already around the possibility of Rugby League Park. I mean, to stress that we've got no rights there. You know, the Rugby League has a lease with the council. We have to discuss and negotiate our way through those sort of matters. Rugby Park, where we're playing the ITM Cup, is a possibility. And there are a range of other sites, bare land, if you like, that we have been exploring and we continue to do so.
Is that Rickett Racecourse specifically?
For example, that sort of site.
Are there others like that, or is that the only one?
Is there a deadline when you have to provide this sort of information to SANZAAR, like whether and where you're going to be playing home games?
Yes, there is. The more urgent deadline, in fact, rests around how we might put a temporary stadium in place around the infrastructure that requires. At the moment, there's a lot of temporary seating, a lot of that stuff which is here in New Zealand for the World Cup, but a lot of it starts to be booked overseas very shortly. So we have a matter of weeks to solve our problem as opposed to many months.
Any movement from SANZAAR make things a bit easier?
They're very supportive, they understand the issue. They haven't got any real answers that are any more obvious to anyone in this group either. If there was an alternative stadium, we lived in a city where go down the road to Stadium B, then clearly that would be nice right now. SANZAAR are supportive, the NZAU have been really supportive, the council have been tremendous, everybody cares. But you know, it's coming to this. We the Crusaders, will not be able to play in Christchurch without some help. We can't see how moving to some sort of temporary facility that's not yet built is going to be an issue we can solve on our own. So it's a difficult situation. The support we've had up to now has been fantastic. We're going to need now to move into a stage where we can solve our dilemma together with some partners.
How much effect do you think not having a home ground and playing here at AMI Stadium actually had on the Crusaders this year?
Oh, the Crusaders did fantastically well this year. I mean, they got to the final, they played some wonderful footy, and got nothing but admiration for the way they went through their campaign. But we don't want to do that again. We think this team should be playing in front of their home fans. We want to see the people who support us having access to games of Crusaders rugby, and we don't think that it's sustainable to do what we did this year again. So we're doing everything we can to have the Crusaders play here next year.
Can you give us some idea of budget in terms of what it would cost to get a Haddington League ground or a Rickett Racecourse up to scratch, you know, in time for February?
I can't give you an absolute answer on that, but you can quickly run into millions.
When you say that you need some help to bring them back to Christchurch, so who primarily is that from?
Oh, we're not targeting or looking at anyone in particular. It could be that we need a fundraising campaign, a fundraising drive. It could be that we need to talk in the rugby community. It could be that the public sector or the private sector needs to assist us. So all we're really signalling now is that this is bigger than we can solve by ourselves.
Hamish, would you have liked more finality today?
Look, I've got an enormous amount of respect for all the issues that the city is facing and that the council and Sarah and everyone else are dealing with. And I trust the fact that we've got the best people looking at this facility. And if they say they need more time to give a final answer, then I utterly accept that. What we know is we're not here next year, and that brings an urgency to our issues that we have to focus on, and we have to trust those that know more than us to deal with the bigger answers in the longer term.
Hamish, of those options, Rugby Park is the only one that you've actually got the bird in the hand, so as to speak. Your issues with that would primarily be capacity. How much capacity do you think you can get in there if you had to?
It's an interesting question. We can probably get 15 to 18,000 at a pinch, but access is no easier. The lights are not adequate. There are no facilities for our commercial partners at the standard that we would like. No solution is obvious or easy or ideal. We just need to do the best we can to tick as many boxes as possible, and we need to do it really quickly because otherwise the infrastructure that we need will be out of the country.
So
Hamish, can anything be removed from here?
You would still need that if you were to take Rugby Park, which I wouldn't imagine is your top wish.
Yeah, I mean, various options have various implications, and price is clearly one of them. Putting a brand new stadium on a paddock in the Oldhurst Road would presumably cost slightly more than a few extra seats at Rugby Park. So there's going to be a whole lot of different implications for each of our options.
Can anything be removed from here, Hamish? i.e. the lights, etc.?
We understand so, but we've got no rights to just grab those, and clearly our ongoing.
But you're talking about in times of need, people are going to chip in. Is this one of them?
That's right, and we understand that the lights can technically be removed and brought back. We understand technically this grass can be moved somewhere and reutilised. So there are certainly aspects of this stadium that might show up next year somewhere.
Does it change your thinking if you think you're going to be in place for 2 years as opposed to 5 years in terms of how ambitious you are with a new project?
Yes, I think that's a very good question, and clearly the uncertainty around AMI Stadium for us does raise the question of what should we be doing next year. Should it just be a 1 year solution? Should we be doing something for 5 years while something different happens here? So we can only deal with what we know though, and in the meantime we know we're not here for next year. But we do need to build some planning around the length of not being here into our options.
So Hamish, when is your deadline? You said in a matter of weeks, but surely you must know the date to have this resolved.
Well, we think we need to be a long way down the fact of our alternatives by the 31st of August.